Hey everyone, it's Kieran here from the Data School Down Under, and I'm here with a quick Tableau tip tutorial today on how to use set actions to create some cool drill down features for your bar charts. This is something that I've used recently on a client project where I guess I had a high number of sort of granularity. I had a granularity that I wanted to really allow my user to drill down into for some different metrics, but space was at a bit of a premium on my dashboard, and hopefully after today you'll be able to use this trick for your works and your projects as well. So at the moment we're just looking at a bar chart from the sample superstore dataset in Tableau. What we've got is sales represented by state. One option that's sort of native to Tableau is obviously just sort of using these options here to break down that granularity from a state to a city level. Something that's really helpful. But a bit of drawback of this is obviously that we're going from having 49 rows of data here to 604 rows when we expand that selection, and it just kind of makes this chart a bit more difficult to use as a user, and particularly if you're creating a dashboard where you're a bit short on space, this isn't really sort of an ideal way to present your data. So instead what we want is something quite similar where I guess to start off with you've got an initial view that shows those sales by city. What you can then do is click on a city and kind of just changes the view to break it up into something a bit more digestible. So in this case, just isolating those cities from Virginia and showing the sales in those individual cities with the ability to sort of drill back up if we want to go back to that higher level of granularity. So this is just one approach to using set actions. It's partially inspired by my colleague JB, who put up a really good blog on this recently for its use in scatter plots. It's worth checking out. I'll post a link to that in the blog underneath the video. There are some other really good uses of set actions for this kind of drill down when it comes to maps is something that comes to mind. And there's a sort of an abundance of resources on the internet if you want to sort of pursue other ways of using this feature. But for now, let's just get started and I'll walk you through how it works. So just to start off with, what we're going to do is obviously start by just dragging sales onto our columns, and just to make it really sort of simple and really demonstrate what we're doing, I'm going to put state up onto that rows label so we can sort of see what we're working with. The first step that I want to do is just click on my state pill in the left-hand menu. What we're going to do is create a set that just contains all of those states in them. So I'm just going to click the all option there, create my set, and I'll call it, using my sort of Tableau best practice, I'll call it state set. Just call state set for now. That looks alright. That just basically bumps it up to the top of my data list, so I know what I'm working with. What we want to do then is just use this to create a few different calculated fields with. So obviously just right click, create calculated field. I prepared some formulas before, so I'm just going to drop those in now. I'm going to call this state and set, and I'll grab my formula and just copy and paste that in. It's that sort of first calculated field, and then we're going to use that to basically set up some more functions. So again, I'm just going to right click on that, create another calculated field, and we're going to call this one our state to city drill down action. And the formula for this one looks something like this. Again, I'll post all these under the video as well, just so you've got access to them. But for now, that's what the formula looks like. I've just called this the state to city drill down action, and this is what's going to control our functionality for what we're trying to do. I'm going to take this item here, drag that into my rows table. So now we can see sort of replacing that list of cities. that list of states. So that's all looking good. I'll take state off there. So we're just left with our new sort of set action formula. Now we just want to set up a few different things to make this work. So we're going to go to worksheet, add an action, change the set values. Call this one state to city drill down. And what we want to do is change that state set. When we click on, what that means is that when I click on one of these items, it's going to basically put that one in the set and isolate that. Basically enable this to work. We're also just going to take that set that I created earlier. I'm going to pop that one first in filters. And then I'm going to take that and pop it in detail as well and just change that to show members in set. So what this means now is that when I click on basically one of these pills or one of these rows, now we see a nice sort of cleaner breakdown of just cities in that area, which is on that state, which is really good. And again, we can drill back up to see what we're looking at sort of that higher level of granularity. One last little thing I don't really like about this, as you've probably noticed though, for a user, maybe it's a bit difficult to really tell what they're looking at. So when we click on Florida, say if we've accidentally clicked a mark, there's not a lot of detail here to really say, oh, these are the cities in Florida. This calculated field up here is a bit ugly. So I'm just going to create a sort of dynamic formula to change the sheet label while we're at that as well. So it's going to look quite similar to the calculated field we created before. Just going to right click up here. I'll call this one the same thing. I'm going to call it state to city drill down. I'm going to call it sheet name. And the formula just again looks something like this. I'll post these all up in the blog underneath this. But essentially what this is saying is, if we're sort of showing the main menu, i.e. there's all of our options are in the set, just name the sheet all states. But if we're drilling down to look at a particular state, change this label up here to read the state name. So I'll just save that now. Drag that onto the detail thing in our worksheet. I'm going to click up here, and I'm just going to insert this sheet name into my book. So now we can see, oh yeah, great. We're looking at Florida. Hide this formula name, and now we're kind of looking good. So yeah, we can see all of our states as a view. If we want a bit more detail, we can just click down into them. So this is one really cool feature of Tableau. Set actions really enables this kind of drilling down into the sort of levels of granularity of the data sets. As I said, there's some other great blogs on the Data School website, Data School Down Under website, about how to use this feature, and there's some other great sort of points and tricks on the internet in how to use it. But yeah, I hope that this helps if you're in a situation where you're trying to communicate a deeper level of granularity, but just because of your dashboard you're a bit stretched for space. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out the Data School blog for more Tableau tips and tricks to really get your visualizations working on a better level.